It's a new month and a new week. What should your focus be in this very first week of May? We're going to find out in today's weekly wisdom. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for watching the Manifest on Purpose show. I am the host, Kimbaley. I am here to help elevate your mind to a higher state of consciousness, and I do that right here on the Manifest on Purpose show. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for all of those that you invite, and thank you for subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. And you know how I feel about you. The God in me loves the God in you. We're going to get to today's weekly wisdom, but before we do, let's hear our Astro-Numerology forecast for today, courtesy of Astro-Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. It's Monday, May the 5th. The sun is in Taurus. The moon is in Leo, moving into Virgo at 3:40 this afternoon. It's a 5 universal month, a 6 universal week, and a 1 universal day. On this Cinco de Mayo, make this a celebration of sorts to bring about meaningful and significant changes into your life moving forward. Actually, it's the day of a new beginning by setting the tone and laying the groundwork to any and all consequences determined by your actions, words, and deeds. Again, although this is usually considered a day of celebration and festivities, that's exactly the kind of energy you want to bring into your life, but on a much higher level and a much higher purpose. You can almost be sure that a Leo, Aquarius, and perhaps an Aries, and definitely those born on the 1st, 4th, 10th, 13th, 19th, 22nd, and 28th and 31st of the month. Once again, that is the astronumerology forecast, courtesy of astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 app. You can download the app on Google Play or the App Store. You can also go to a star8.com. That's ASTAR, the number 8.com. And you can go to Linktree /numbers and you, where you can check out some of his other exclusive products and services. We're now in the month of May. What should you be doing personally in the month of May? You would need your astronumerology forecast for the year to determine what you should be doing for this entire month. Not only will you get this month's forecast for your personal use, you will also get one for the following 12 months so you can know how to plan for the year ahead. When you should slow down, when you should pick up, when should you try something new? These are some of the questions you can ask with your yearly astronumerology forecast. This report is also beneficial for your business because just like you have a birthday, your business has a birthday also. And you can use numerology to align your business with success. With these exclusive services for your business, you will get your business astronumerology reports, your business name analysis, you can get alignment, and you can get forecasting for your business. You can find out what your mission and brand identity is. You can find out who your target audience is and the best times to do things in your business, like launch a new product or promote or hiring. So make sure that you check this out. You can go to Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com, and you can book a free consultation, 30 minutes to sit with me, and I will tell you more about what business astronumerology is, and I will hear more about your business and determine what steps you should take next. Once again, that is Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. Aligning your business with this numerical frequency is powerful. Now we're going to get into the weekly wisdom. And before we get into it, I just want to let people know who are here for the first time what the weekly wisdom is. The weekly wisdom is how I determine what the energy flow is going to be like for all of us for the week. I will determine that by doing an oracle card reading and using the numerology on the cards to help clarify that reading. And I will start with a universal reading, and then I will read a card for each birthday number. Your birthday number is the day that you're born on. For example, if you're born on August the 4th, your birthday number is a 4. However, let's just say that you're born on August the 13th. You have to reduce it down to a single digit according to the Vedic system and numerology, which is add 1 plus 3, and that equals 4. So 4 would be your birthday number also. When I call out the universal reading, I would then go to the birthday numbers, and I would give an advice card for each birthday number reading. And at the end, I will do an affirmation and give a summary of what the whole entire reading was about. And this weekly wisdom is designed to help us figure out what energies we can expect and how to navigate through those things for the week ahead. So I'm going to be using a couple decks. The first deck that I'll be using is the Wisdom of the Oracle, which is by Colette Baron Reed. And the second one is the Trust Your Vibes deck. Okay, we're going to jump into the universal reading. And the universal reading is just as it sounds. It means that it's for everybody. So we're going to get into the universal reading first. And I'm just going to give the cards one big shuffle. I hope everyone's month has started out great. I've seen a lot of comments. A lot of people had a rough April. I hope May is much better for you. While I'm reading, especially when I'm reading your number, if anything resonates with you, please be sure to reach out to me in the comment section and let me know. And also, if you hear something that resonates deeply with you and you want to book a personal reading, then you can reach me at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. Now let's get into this universal reading. The very first card, the top card, the 4 card, the higher power. The energy that I'm feeling from this 4 card. And before I even get started, I'm going to let you know that this is the cornerstone card because it's the very first card that came up. So this card is going to indicate meaning throughout the rest of the reading. This card is going to be significant throughout the rest of the reading. It's going to give us like a synopsis of the whole reading. This card is the number 4 card, as I said. And when I think about this card, I think about boundaries. And we just came out of a 4 universal month. And we come from out of that 4 universal month, which was about teaching us boundaries. And we get into this 5 universal month, which is about freedom. So it's saying that the energy that I'm feeling is once you begin to set boundaries, or if you've already set those boundaries, you'll begin to feel a sense of freedom. And I'm hearing someone saying, like, when will this person allow me to be at peace? When will I be able to get some peace? And what I say is that You can't expect another person to give you peace. True peace comes within, and true peace is only there if you can set up boundaries to bring in things that's going to interrupt that peace. So the energy that I'm feeling is, if you're looking for peace, then you need to make sure that you have structures and boundaries in place, and that's a part of the higher nature of yourself, being able to determine when you need to set boundaries in your life. And that's the energy that I'm feeling. Somebody maybe needs to set boundaries in order to walk or step into that freedom. And the 45-9 card is here. And this card said it's time to let go. Because it's something that I'm feeling that you allow to keep happening over and over again. And you continue to point at that thing and say, it keeps bothering me. It won't leave me alone. It's not supposed to leave you alone. It's not going to leave you alone. You have to set the boundaries. It's time for you to let go anything that is keeping you attached to those unwanted things. And the energy that I'm feeling is, it's time for you to let go and detach from anything that happens to be overstepping your boundaries at this time. Things that you really don't want to do, but you do them anyway, because I'm hearing you don't like to say no. Sometimes you got to say no, not for them, but for you. Time to let go of that. This is so lovely. The number 5 card is the peace card. And the number 5 card is telling you we're in a 5 universal month. The only way that you're going to get your freedom is you're going to have to find that peace within yourself. And you're not going to have peace within yourself if you continue to let people overstep your boundaries. Because let me tell you, let me just be straight up, right? When people overstep your boundaries, you feel a type of way. You feel like, did that person just overstep my boundaries? How could I allow them to do that? You beat yourself up. So that person is not taking away the peace from you. It's the fact that you're not consistent with your boundaries that's taking away your peace. And when it takes away your peace, where there's no peace, there is no freedom. That's the energy that I'm feeling. And this number 5 is all about freedom. A lot about freedom. And here goes the 5. And it says the here and now. It's saying stop contemplating, because you're going in your mind back and forth. When do I need to cut this off? When do I need to detach? The time is now. And let me just explain to people what it really means to be detached, because a lot of people think that when they hear the word detach, it's that you just stop dealing with that person and you don't have anything to do with that person anymore. No, you don't have to completely get that person out of your life. You just take yourself away from the outcome of the situation. You just back up. You let them do what they do, but at the same time, you maintain your boundaries. That's that detachment. You let them be them and let them do what they want to do. But however, I got boundaries over here. You can't cross these lines. I remember back in the day when sometimes when people used to fight, they used to make the imaginary line in the sand and saying, you better not cross this line, but that's what I'm seeing with these boundaries. You need to draw that line and say, hey, you're not crossing this line, because you're not interrupting my peace and you're not interrupting my freedom to be me. When we talk about freedom and we want to know what freedom is the freedom to be you, the freedom to be me. the freedom to do things the way that you want to do it. And in order to have that freedom, you got to set some boundaries. Okay, and now I'm going to go to the Trust Your Vibe deck. I'm going to get the advice card for the week because that message was pretty powerful. This is like maintain your boundaries. Maintain your boundaries because sometimes people will talk you out of your boundaries before you can even think of it. Okay? 22-4, meditate. Sometimes the energy that I'm feeling from this is sometimes people, and when you think about it, we in this 5 months swift communication, fast communication. Sometimes people can talk you right out of your boundaries, before you even know it. You're in a conversation with them, and before you even know it, they cross a boundary. It's because they're quick with it, and sometimes, they could be like, they call Mercury, which rules the number 5, is the trickster. And not saying that number 5s are tricksters, but that energy of the 5 is here for this month. So everything that you see and hear for the very first time may not be all that is cracked up to be. So with this card right here, it's telling you number 22-4. When you think about 4, the 4 is reserved. When you think about the four doesn't just jump out there and do things. It's going to think about what it does first, and just like this card says, meditate, meditate. That could be just sitting there thinking about it. So every time someone comes to you with an opportunity, especially if they got that fast, smooth talk, think about it before it happens. Do your research before it happens to make sure that it's not an illusion, to make sure that it's not crossing your boundaries, it's not overstepping. That's it for the universal reading. We're going to move on to the birthday number reading. So if your birthday number is a number 1, that means you're born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of the month. You are number 1. Or if you come under the signs of Leo or Aquarius, you are a number 1. Flexible. This is a 19 card. So that 1 plus 9 is the number 1, which makes this significant number 1 because number 1 is your number. So that means pay attention. And the energy that I'm feeling is that this month right here is for you to be flexible. This is time for you to kind of like step outside the box and try some new things in your life. Not those things that are going to cross your boundaries or not allowing people to cross your boundaries, but at the same time, try some new things. Just be careful about the things that you do get into. So your focus should be on some type of change this month. What will help you? What is something that you should have been doing a long time ago, but you've been holding on to or you've been holding back from this month? This is the month where you're going to have to be more flexible because when you think about the number 1 is like a leadership number. Everybody looks up to the number 1. And the number 1 is also interchangeable with the number 4. And the number 4 likes to do things step by step. But this is a change in scenario this month. In order for you to get through this week, practice being a little more flexible. Practice doing things that you have not done before. And it could be things that you have thought about doing, but you always were just kind of afraid to do something different. Now is your time because according to your 1 and 4, you're supposed to be doing things differently anyway. Just watch out for your boundaries. And your advice card is the 21-3 is expect best. Be creative. This is the energy that I'm feeling. The number 1 is creative in itself. And then the number 3 is also a creative number. So this is saying that There may have been something that you have been holding on to because you felt like other people may not accept it. But this is saying to go ahead and put that creative thing out there because it just might be what someone else needs, number one. And we're going to go on to the birthday number two. So if you're born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th of the month, you are a number two. And you get the number one card. And this is the Yang card. So the energy that I'm feeling is, boy, number two, I'm feeling like people been trying to step all over your boundaries. Just on a regular basis. And it's because I don't know why it's like that, but, and I experience it. People like to take kindness for weakness or sweetness for meekness. So they think that if you're really, really nice and you're caring and you're giving and you're compassionate, that they can just run all over top of you. But this energy right here is the number one energy. And this is telling you, number two, make sure that you're standing by your boundaries, and it's time for you to get a little aggressive about it because people not hearing you like they should hear you. It's time for you to step up and say no more, no more. And don't worry about who think you're being mean, who think you're being nasty. Of course you don't have to be nasty, but what you have to do is just to protect yourself. And the way that you protect yourself is to protect your boundaries. Okay. And what the advice card is, cloak yourself in light. And this is a 12 card. This is 3912 card. And what this energy is telling me is you need to protect yourself, because with the number 12, that card is the victim or the sacrifice of the plans and intrigues of others. So that really means that people really can mistreat you or abuse your kindness. So this right here is letting you know that you need to protect yourself. Cloak yourself in light is another way to say protect yourself. Have a covering on yourself, and that covering is your boundaries. Say it loud, number two. No. No. Don't even make them think anything else. No. Don't let them get finished asking the question. No. You know who they are. And we're going to go on to the number three, born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month, or come under the signs of Pisces or Sagittarius. I forgot to say the number two came under the sign of Cancer, I think. But we're on to the number three, and you got the number 13, 4 card right here. And this says you're at a fork in the road, number three. And so what this is happening is so many people are telling you so many different things and you don't know what to listen to. And you're stuck. You're stuck, number three. And the point is, number three, you're supposed to be optimistic. You're supposed to be expansive. You're not supposed to be stuck. But the issue is you have not set the boundaries the way that you have been setting them, because sometimes we think that boundaries are only physical. They're also mental boundaries too. You got to be careful at what other people say and what you allow to get in your head, the communication that comes into you. You have to set boundaries on that too, because some people will say stuff to you just because they don't want you to do it, because they don't think you can do it, or either it may be something that they want to do for themselves. So this right here is saying put your boundaries up and go in the direction that you feel led to go on, and don't count on anybody else's directions. Listen to you. 36-9 is here. Same thing about letting go. Clear your past. Clear your past. So it's things that you're probably holding on to. Maybe it's a time when you felt like maybe you should have listened to somebody else, and things didn't work out for you, and you're holding on to that now. But the energy that I'm feeling is like you need to clear all of those negative things that happened in your life before, because we're in the here and now. That stuff is no longer here. So you have to focus on what's happening to you right now. So those are boundaries and limitations that you need to set as well. Don't let your past come in and affect your present. And we're going to move on to the number 4, born on 1 to 4, the 13th, the 22nd, the 31st of the month, or come under the signs of Leo, of Aquarius and Leo. You are a number 4. And this is the 15-6 card. And this is a message in the bottle. And the 15-6 is the opposition number to the number 4. And what I'm hearing is believe none of what you hear and some of what you see. You know, the message in the bottle talks about communication that may be coming from other people that you're not really trying to hear right now, or you shouldn't really be trying to hear, because it's kind of like the same situation with the number 3. People are trying to tell you the best direction that you need to go into, when really you got your own guidance system, your own personal guidance system. You can't continue to follow anybody else. But and when we think about the 15-6 too, it talks about service. It talks about service. So even though it's good that we are of service to a community, it is saying that you can't give your whole life to nothing but service. There's some things that you have to do for yourself. So even when it comes to service, you have to set boundaries, because you have to take care of yourself also. You can't take care of others, or you can't serve others without serving yourself first. 14-5, you're tired. Number 4. Call on your healer, guys. This is the 14-5. It's time for a change. You're tired, and it's time for you to get some energy and to rest. And what you're going to have to do is call on your healer, guys. You're going to have to learn how to do more meditation. You're going to have to sit more with self, because you have to recharge your energy. Service is not something that's easy. It requires energy. And once you serve, you have to recharge your energy. So we're going to move on to the number 5, born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month, or come under the signs of Gemini or Virgo. You are a number 5. And you got the number 7 card, and this is a deep knowing. So the energy that I'm feeling right here for you, number 5, is you already know what needs to be changed. You already know where the boundaries need to be placed in your life. And you may not admit it, because there are some things that you just don't want to let go of. But this energy right here is saying that you know what those things are, and you're going to have to let them go. And you're looking at it like, this too? Yes, that too. Because if you don't let the things go that should be going, then there's no room for anything new to come in, number 5. So this is about change. And if you're having problems with doing it, the 33-6 card is here. It's telling you to tap into your spiritual side of yourself and seek solitude. Take some time to yourself sometimes. Now we move on to the number 6, born on the 6th, the 15th, the 24th of the month. You are a number 6, so come under the signs of Taurus and Libra. You are a number 6. You got the number 12 card here, a change in the wind. So this energy is feeling like, oh boy, number 6. This right here is the number 12. That's that number of the victim of or sacrifice of the plans and intrigues of others. This means that there probably has been people that has used you in your life, but now things are getting ready to change. Things are going to be different now. All of the things that seemed to keep you down are now going to be no longer exist in your life. So the things that have held you down before are no longer going to be able to hold you down again. Things are going to change in a big way for you, number six. This is a time for celebration. And if anything seems to be falling out of your life, or it seems to be kind of left behind, leave it. Leave it, because a change is coming. And see the solution. This is the number one card. And this is telling you you're going to have to think differently than what you thought before. Because this right here is a number 10 card, which adds up to the number one, which is also oppositional to the number six. So this card is like, now you're going to have to see the solution. So what's going to happen for this change to take place is you're going to have to look carefully at those people that approach you in your life, especially those ones with opportunity or advice and things like that. And you're going to have to make wise decisions in order to move forward, and in order not to be caught up in that being misused or mistreated again. If you already been mistreated before and you see that same red flag or that same pattern again, pay attention to it, see the solution, and know this time, walk away. Okay, now we're going to move on to the number seven, born on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th of the month, or come under the signs of Cancer. You are a number seven. The loyal heart, number seven. And this is an 8 card. So this card right here is saying, be aware of those people who have been loyal to you, and be aware of the ones that have not been. Be aware of those ones that have been foundational in your life, and be aware of the ones that have consistently crossed boundaries over and over again. And those are the ones that you know that you need to detach from if you have not already done so. And these are the people, or the type of people, that you know in the future you need to avoid. So if you already know what's working, let go and don't go to what's not working. Number seven. And sometimes you got to go back to the basics. Number seven. Number four. And that basics, the basics is the foundation. You know how sometimes when when a person wants to impress you, or people want to impress you or whatever, they give you all of these kind, flowery words, and they say all these real nice things to you. And this is saying, be careful with that. Go back to the basics. Pay attention to those ones that may not have a whole lot to say, but they are very foundational in your life. Be careful about when something seems to be overcompensating in your life. Like it's giving you much more than what you really need. Like it's trying to do so much that it becomes a burden. You have to think about that situation and find out what it really is. And what you're going to have to do is go back to the basics. the ones that are loyal. And that's what's really foundational, being loyal. Okay, so we're going to move on to the number 8, born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. You are a number 8. 34/7, you got a leg up, number 8. This means that be cool, calm, and collect, because everything is going to be okay. Do your research, make sure you do your digging, find out what's best for you, make sure that you have those boundaries set. And when you think about the number 7, because this card equals to 34/7, you know, who knows more about boundaries? Well, number 7 knows about boundaries too, because the number 7 likes to keep things private, like to keep things to themselves. And you know that this is a strength for you, number 8. And a lot of people need to pay attention to this. You know, just because you are reserved and to yourself doesn't mean that you're stuck up or you don't want to be bothered. It means that you're protecting your personal space. That's a boundary. And let me look at the advice card. Sleep on it. So this is saying, and this is the number 5 card. And it's also when I'm thinking change with this card right here. And so it may be some things that you would like to change in your life, number 8. And the energy that I'm feeling is that if there are some things that you need to change or you want to change in your life, make sure that you go heavy into thought about it. You know, you got a leg up and you have the 34/7 card. This is why you got to do that digging and researching, because the thing that you want to change is something that you need to really dig deep into to make sure that it's really what you want to do. Now we're going to move on to the number 9, born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month, or come under the signs of Aries or Scorpio. You are a number 9. 46. And this is the regeneration card. And this 46 card goes back to 1. And the energy that I'm feeling is some things have to go away in order to for something to start new. So this is the energy that I'm feeling for you, number 9. And this is a number that this is something you should be used to, regeneration, you know, a cycle leaving so that a cycle can begin. What you need to understand is maybe it is that you need to set new boundaries in your life, because a lot of times we have boundaries up and then we start getting a little lean on those boundaries and people just start slipping over them a little bit. And next thing you know, that's no longer a boundary. So, what needs to happen is maybe you need to establish stronger boundaries. Maybe you need to get rid of these boundaries altogether and set more boundaries for you that actually aligns with the things that you want in your life. And the advice card is the talk shop. And this is the number 1718 card. And this right here is like, tell people what you feel. You know, if they crossing your boundaries, you let them know. If you think that they may be trying to cross your boundaries, you make sure that you let them know, hey, no, I said no, I'm not going to do this. You just let them know how you feel. And this is the 17-8 card. That means stay steadfast in this. No matter how much they beg, no matter how much they plead, don't change yourself for them. And a lot of times that's what people think is happening, that should happen. Like sometimes you should make adjustments for other people. But what I've learned over my time is that when you make adjustments for others, How many of those people will ever be willing to make adjustments for you? And I can't get mad at that because, they have to set their boundaries too. But this is saying stand by your boundaries, number 9. And now we're going to go on to the master number 11. And that comes under the sign of Leo and Aquarius. The unfinished symphony card comes up. And this is the number 1 card. Master number 11. And I think Master number 11 has gotten this card before, but the energy I'm feeling is like there's some things that you have started that you have not finished, some things that you have created because you have not finished. And the energy is the way that I feel this energy is like, you start on things and people pull you away to do something else, and then you forget all about it and your busyness and haste, and you're off to something else, and then someone pulls you away again. It's like so much unfinished things that you have not done because of the fact that other people have been constantly pulling on you. And this number 1 is saying that it is time for a change. It's time for something new. And that something new is going to start with your boundaries, because you like to serve people too, because you have the responsibility of raising consciousness of humanity, so you have a job to do. Therefore, you're going to have to serve others, but the same thing that I said in an earlier message, you have to be able to serve self first before you can serve anybody else in an effective way. So make sure that you're completing the things that you need to get done before you decide to serve others. And this is saying exercise your vibes. And so this is also number 11. So this right here is saying you're the visionary. When a vision comes in your mind, you have to use it right then. You can't put it off, because if you put it off and come back to it later, it's not going to be the same. The energy is not the same. I remember when I used to write my scripts for Manifest on Purpose show. This was way back. And I used to write scripts, but it would be times, and it's always been like this in my life, there would be, I would say, a block of information that would come to me, and I would have to quickly write it down, because within about 30 to 45 minutes, that block of information would just leave. And I can never, I can try all I want to finish what I started. However, the energy is not quite the same. So this means that you're going to have to use that power of you being a visionary and make sure that you're focused on that thing so that you can continue to do it until it's finished. And then once you're done, you can help humanity. But you have to get it first, So those are the boundaries that you're going to have to set, number 11. And we're going to go on to the master number 22. And they fall on master number 22 falls under the sign of Aquarius and Leo. This is a number 5 card, and it's saying there's no place like home. And so what this card is saying is that the energy that I'm feeling is like, yes, go out and explore the world, master number 22. But always remember, home is where the heart is. That's the energy that I'm feeling. Home is where the heart is. Put boundaries around your heart, number 22. That's where I'm feeling that this energy needs to go, The energy needs to be balanced around your heart. Protect your heart. You know, make sure that because number 22, when you look at the number 22, there's two twos in that number. And two is a sensitive number. Now, you do two to the second power, that's extra sensitive. So this is saying protect your heart, place boundaries around your heart, because the same way that you love others may not be received by you. And the advice card for the number 22 is instant feedback. And this is the number 9. And the energy that I'm feeling about this, and this is a let go energy. This time for the number 9, I feel a let go energy. And what I feel about this is instant feedback. I think about the quote, whenever a person show you who they are, believe them the first time. And I don't know if the first time was really a part of the quote, but I always love that quote. But when people show you who they are, it's no mistake. It's no mistake. And just recently, I was dealing with a person that I probably have known for a while. And I was around the person for an extensive period of time. And then I saw a behavior come out that I'm like, hold up, where did that come from? So a lot of times when we see things like that, we don't think about it's a red flag. But if you're around a person long enough or dealing with a person long enough, you start to see who they really are. So the energy that I'm feeling is when you see that, master number 22, make sure that you know that's instant feedback. That's from source letting you know, hey, guard your heart, protect yourself, set your boundaries. And that's what this whole entire reading was basically about, setting boundaries. We're in this period of change, we're in this period of flexibility and freedom. However, if we don't maintain our boundaries, there's no peace. So we can't enjoy that freedom, that flexibility. We can't enjoy that change properly until we have set proper boundaries. Look at how it happens. You have number 4 that's restrictive coming right before the number 5. So the number 4 is teaching you to apply boundaries. And the number 5 is showing you that after you apply those boundaries, there's freedom. So that's basically what it's saying for this week right here. Make sure that if last month you didn't set proper boundaries, make sure that you start this month off setting those boundaries so you can also receive freedom in this month. Make sure that you're changing, doing things that's better for you. Make sure that you are being flexible as well this month. And so let me read the avoid negative people at all costs. They tire you out and wear you down. Brian Tracy. And that goes right into what we were talking about today. That's setting boundaries. Once again, avoid negative people at all costs. They tire you out and wear you down, by Brian Tracy. Thank you so much for listening to the weekly wisdom and always support. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.